Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Host Mr. Mango, we had a lot audio issues before we got started. Let me see this right now. Hello? You hear me now? Great. All right, cool. So today's show is about why I'm the reason I'm broke. So we're gonna go over a couple of things. We're gonna first talk about the reasons why a lot of people are broke. I can actually go personally on this, and some steps to kind of get you out of that, not having as much money as usual. We ain't saying rich. I think people misinterpret building wealth. They think it happens overnight when that is definitely not the truth. It takes time to build wealth, just like it takes time to build anything in life. So we're going to definitely go into, some good details today. Hope you guys enjoy the show. And also, you can watch this not only you can not only listen to this on Blog Talk Radio, but you can watch this on YouTube on the B.A.M Talk Spot, which is streaming live right now as well. And if you have any 2 cents you would like to add, you can call in at the number 929-477-2663. Did I leave anything out, Mr. Mango? All right, cool. And also, too, I got the chat open. So if you're, the type of person that don't want to call in, you can definitely leave your remarks in the chat as well. And you can also chat live on the YouTube stream. So you got plenty of options to give your 2 cents. Not only can you call in, but you can send in messages via chat on the YouTube and on the Blog Talk. So, Mr. Mango, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor, give a couple of reasons why a lot of people are, stuck in, can't seem to get their finances right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that number one thing you said is basically, we're not taught how to manage money. It's crazy. We go through all those years of school where we learn math, algebra, calculus, and all of that, and we still are terrible when it comes to numbers. Because I believe it's one formula that when it comes to managing money is the ultimate formula. I believe if everybody is, I think you should be taught compound interest from like the first grade or either kindergarten on up. That should be embedded in everybody. That should be repeated every school year. Compound interest, and it should be a program to where you take something and they get you to, use compound interest throughout that school year. And so you can actually see how, or throughout your whole school years, to see how compound interest works. And I think that that'll open up a lot of our eyes before we even become adults and see the power of compound interest. And yeah, look at the specific. Because I know it's basically like, say, for instance, you'll take, while you looking up the specifics, but it's basically if, let's say, for instance, if I take $100 and I invest $100 into something, and I add along with that $100, let's say every month I add $100. So it's every month for a whole year I keep adding $100. But on top of that, there will be like a 12% increase, like, on added onto that. So I'll be getting a 12%, cash back as well, along with that $100 that I'm putting. So say for somebody who's just have a regular savings account and they putting $100 into it for 12 months. So that's $1,200. So somebody who does that along with 12%, let me see if I can, with my math at, so, huh? Okay, yeah. So that'll be not only just not only the 1,200, but they'll have 1,200 plus $12. And if you do that, 1,200, because over the 12-month period, like 120, yeah. So you'll get an interest of $120 added on to that 1,200. So you just keep compounding that over the years, and that money will just, that snowball will be bigger than somebody who's just putting in $100 and they're not getting any 12% interest on that $100 that they're putting in every month. Yeah. But see, oh, that was Albert Einstein. Yeah, that was definitely Albert Einstein. But that's and see, that's the thing too. It's patience. People gotta understand. Like sometimes, I mean, all the time, wealth is patience. Like a lot of these, most of these rappers that are exploding on the screen right now, probably was rapping 10, 15 years ago. They've been doing this for years. This is something that they've been doing over time, and it just is starting to pay off now, and you just see it starting to pay off. It's like that picture that they have going around on the internet where they have that what's that, glacier, and you see a little bit of the top, but if you look at underneath it in the water, it's like it's longer than it is at the top. It's like when people, they only see you when you're at the top. They didn't see you when you was working toward, when you got to the top. So it takes patience with everything. Like that's why they always ask you where you see yourself 5 years from now, or where you see yourself 10 years from now, because it's about thinking long term. Not thinking that like lottery people think like, oh, when I play this number, I'm gonna be an instant millionaire. Like That don't happen for billions of Americans. That doesn't happen for them every day. Like, so you get that one lucky person that played the number and he hits. But somebody who wasn't good with the little they had, even though they may have won that lot that one day, they'll blow that just like they blew that little they used to have. And, so I think that's another thing too, patience. A lot of people, when it comes to money, they lack patience. I used to be that same exact way. I would come up with a plan, and my plan would always be, well, in the next 2, 3 months, I'm gonna have this much money, or 3 months from now, I'm gonna do this. And those goals, it's good to have short goals, but it's better. They need to be goals to where they're working up towards bigger goals. So more realistic goals. You can make them big. It's good to have them big. So if you miss, you'll still probably miss a little bit. Have probably a big amount, but still, you need to have big goals. Stop making your goals so short. You see this a lot with people who's trying to lose weight. It took them a year or two to gain all the weight that they have, and they'll say, "I'm going to go on 1 month stretch and lose all my weight." And no, you're not going to be able to do that. First of all, you're going to either starve yourself, and you're going to make yourself go on a binge eating when that 1 month is over with, and you're going to collect everything that you just lost. So yep, yeah, and so what are some of the few reasons? I'm gonna give a few of the reasons that I believe would happen to me when, like I said, when I was coming up, because I used to be terrible with money. I think I did one thing, which was I heard this islander say my eyes used to be too big for my pockets. So I go out there and say, for instance, some new Jordans may have came out, and they're $100 and something, and I may have that $100 and something, but if you think about it, do I really have that $100 and something? Like, I may have it, but do I really have it? Like, if I was to spend that $100 and something, um, will it hurt me later? And 9 times out of 10, it would. So I think that's one problem I had. My eyes was too big for my pockets. I didn't realize this one thing too. I read this book called what was that? The Richest Man in Babylon. And one key thing he said when it comes to saving is whatever you make, you take 10% of that and put it in and save it, stash it. And I didn't used to do that. And I think about all those years I worked, it was like, damn, had I put back 10% of every check. And you think 10% is really not a lot of money. It's like if you made a $500 check, that's nothing but $50. You take that $50 and you put it away. Every check, just keep doing it, keep putting it away. And that's one thing I didn't used to do. I wish I used to do. It saved 10% of everything that I made. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Mhm. YOLO. Yeah, yeah, and you know, and that's another thing I used to do. I used to look at how well other people were doing, and I think one day I had looked and I paid attention as one thing. I was like, okay, all of these people they got these nice things. I started to pay attention to how old they were, you know, because when I was like 20 something, and I was like, yeah. And when you looked at those people, they was about in they um late 30s, you know, close to their 40s. So it's like they had a period of time to do what they did to get to where they at. And you know, you think you just fresh out of school, and you think all of this, and you're just gonna accumulate all this wealth, and you ain't putting in no hard work, or no, you haven't even had a plan. And that leads me to my next reason why I know I was terrible with money. I didn't have a plan. I I, I just used to work, and that was it. There was no vision behind why I'm working. You know, why am I out here, you know, working hard right now? What is the bigger end game for why, you know, I come to work every day? And I did not have a plan. All I knew was, oh, I'm gonna work and, you know, pay bills and stuff. But it wasn't until I actually started, when I created the plan, that's when everything started to start rolling. You know, putting back the 10% of what I make. You know, knowing, okay, what I'm doing with my money. Because if you wake up and you're like, damn, what happened to my? You get paid and you be like, what happened to my money? You're not managing your money then,
Yes.
because you should know exactly where your money is going.
Yes.
You
And
got to.
how many people you know have a budget? How many people you know how to actually do a budget? And you know, I brought up Dave Ramsey earlier, and he talks about budgets, and he talks about how we need to know where every dollar is going. And the problem we have is we don't spend every dollar on purpose. Every dollar we
Yeah.
spend has to be done with intent of spending, with a purpose behind the spending the dollar. And what happens is we
Mhm.
let little things nickel and dime us to poverty, and we have to stop doing that. Um, Appetizers when we go out to eat. How often do you go out to eat? How often do you not cook at home? How often do you buy something that you really don't need? You just wanted it, and then you cry broke all the time. You know, you broke because you just letting money. You like you got a hole in your pocket. Like the money can't wait to leave you. You know, when we have these conversations with
Yeah.
people, they quick want to talk about the state of society. You know, the state of society, you know, especially us being black folks and me mostly knowing black folks, the number one gripe we have is how awful it is for black folks in this country. And I say to myself, yeah, it is bad, but are you the best you can be in that environment? Okay. Yeah. Are you the best you could be in that environment? Or is the fact that the environment is awful is an excuse for you not to be a good steward of the little bit you got?
Yeah, a lot of people use that excuse a lot. Like, they just feel like, I be stressed, man. I gotta have something to drink, or I need to have something to smoke, something like that. You have to find a better stress reliever than something that's costing you money. You have to. It's so. I told people, man, I was like, bro, if I smoked, I would be a stingy smoker. Folks would hate me because how much cigarettes cost. And I see people always, let me get a cigarette. Man, I would be that person that would say no. You know how much this pack of cigarettes cost? I ain't giving nobody nothing. But it's like you were saying, people nickel and dime themselves. And how many times have you heard somebody say, oh, it ain't nothing but $5? Oh, it ain't nothing but $10. And it's like, okay.
Well, I frequently spend them $10.
$10. Exactly. $5 and $10 can add up. Oh, we have a caller.
All right.
So it's going to be solo again. 1 second. Hey, what's going on? You on the B.A.M. Man show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I recently figured out my money problems, and I'd just like to share some tips with you guys real quick. It's the
great.
niggers, they steal my money. Nigger.
We just had somebody childish called in.
Yeah. But here's the thing, that's the country we live in. He couldn't even be a man to say it like a man.
He couldn't. He couldn't because he wouldn't even say that to nobody's face either. Yeah. But like we were saying about the where were we?
I think you were speaking.
Oh yeah, I get it now. When I was talking about why do people, how many times have you heard somebody say it's nothing but $5 or it's nothing but $10?
Yeah.
And over time that $5 and $10, you multiply that $10 times 5 times, it's $50 you just spent.
Yeah.
But all them times you kept saying it's nothing but $10. And that's what I'm saying. We have to pay attention, and that's where planning come in and budgeting comes in. Like you said, and this guy Dave Ramsey, he even have what it is, an envelope that's like it's free money, but he know exactly how much money is in that spending money. Like it's spending money, but he'll probably be like, well, we're only gonna do $60 of spending money that's in the budget right now. So he know exactly that he's gonna spend $60 for just to be spending money. So I think it's been 36 minutes. We're about close to the halfway mark, and I think we can go ahead and go into the talking about the Dave Ramsey. What is that? His what was it? 7 plans.
7 steps, baby steps.
7 baby steps.
Mm-hmm. And these baby steps are part of what he called a Financial Peace University. And I think they're awesome. I think they take discipline, and I think it takes a commitment to changing your life. I heard it once said, you live like no other today, so you can live like no other later. You see what I'm saying? And what happened is we so concerned and caught up with, trying to live now, and then later on we're struggling to live, And there's 7 baby steps in his plan to get financial peace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the baby steps, and then we're going to go back and talk about the baby steps.
Cool.
Baby step number 1, come up with $1,000 to start an emergency fund. Okay. Number 2, pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Number 3, 3 to 6 months of expenses in savings. Number 4, invest 15% of household income into Roth IRAs and pre-tax retirement. Number 5, college funding for your children. Pay off, that's number 5. College funding for children. Number 6, pay off home early. Number 7, build wealth and give.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about baby step number 1. $1,000? I ain't got no $1,000.
And to be honest, that's the easiest step.
yeah, getting it. But what about keeping it?
I'll say actually, to be honest, well, I'm probably speaking by myself personally, but baby step number 1, man, is the easiest. I think the one that gives everybody issue is number 2.
Okay. All right. Well, before we go to number 2, let me give my little 2 cents on baby step number 1. Start off with $1,000 emergency fund. I think the problem that we have with getting to that place and with emergency funds, period, is that we don't understand what emergency means. Okay?
Yeah.
Your mama, your auntie, your brother, your cousin, your friend, that chick you smashing on the side, none of their problems constitute an emergency. An emergency is for you. And even a lot of your problems don't constitute emergency. Okay? You take that money, you put it in a Ziploc bag, you put it in a bucket, and you put the bucket, fill it up with water, and you put that in the freezer. Okay? You don't want to get to that money unless you have an emergency. All right? A lot of stuff we call emergencies aren't emergencies. Some stuff we can do without. Because we keep things in our life that cost us money, stuff we don't want to give up. Cable. We won't give up having all of the channels on HBO and all of that stuff, because we got to watch Game of Thrones. We got to watch all the shows that don't come over the air, you know. So we got to have the latest discs. We got to put our cell phone on our phone plan so we can have the latest phone, not realizing how much more that's putting on your monthly spending. Okay, it's so much things that we do that we don't sacrifice to keep that emergency fund intact. All right, baby step number 2, you say is more challenging, is pay off all debt using a debt snowball. Why do you think that's a little bit more challenging?
Well, because I mean, you know, you got a lot of people that are in debt, and it's mainly because of it's like 2 reasons why a lot of people are in debt. It is college and hospital bills. You know, college is, I guess, when you're young, and hospital bills that, you know, as you got older. But it's, you know, these college fees, man, that, you know, over time you was trying to get through college, you was taking out on them loans. And by the time you finish college, them loans are looking like $40,000, $50,000. And, you know, that's a lot of money to be in debt in. And you haven't even probably found your job in your career yet. And then the crazy thing is, not everybody who graduates will find their job in their field. Not everybody's going to get a job in their field. Some people are going to get that degree and still going to have to go get one of those low-paying jobs. And, you know, that's why I say for a lot of people, that's probably hard to pay back all that debt. And, you know, and the thing is, too, when you look at it and you see 20 grand, that's a lot of money. But like I like how Dave Ramsey is. He's all about, the snowball effect. So you just you keep throwing money at it, and you keep on putting more money towards that debt every time. Like if you get a raise, that raise you just got, that means you need to increase how much money you putting towards your debt. Anywhere that you're getting more money, you need to take that money and put it towards that debt, because what you want to do is you want to finish that debt off as soon as possible. Being debt free is what he says is the quickest way to wealth building.
What about that bonus I got?
Oh, that should go straight to it.
What about the $5,000 I got for my kids on my income tax?
That should definitely go to it too.
What about my granddaddy died and he left me some money?
Yeah, that as well. Like I'm guessing like almost all the extra money that you getting should go towards trying to get that debt paid off.
Now let me explain why they call it the debt snowball. Because I think it's a phenomenal tool to use to pay off debt. And now, mind you, Dave Ramsey, one of his main deals is people don't have plans. They don't spend their money on purpose. So I came up with these steps to help people get out of debt. And he don't mind if you have the discipline to tweak it a little bit. Not everybody's situation the same. As long as you spending your money on purpose, paying off all debt using the debt snowball. Here you go. You got. Let's say you got 7 debts, right? And a lot of times people are told to pay off the one with the highest interest rate first. Okay, and he don't agree with that. Debt snowball is like this. Let's say you got here's your monthly debt that you pay it off. You got $50 a month for some old bill. You got $100 a month for another bill. You got $200 a month for another bill, and you got $300 a month for another bill. Car note, all right. So you got $300, $200, which makes $500. Then you got the $100, which makes $600, and you got the $50, which makes $650. Okay. Now let's say the one with the highest interest rate is the car, and folks will go after that, the $300 first. But instead of doing that, the $50 debt is actually a small debt. It's $1,000. So you pay $50 a month, you're gonna knock out the $1,000, right? And each one of them is $1,000. Let's make it 1,000 so it's easy to do the math, right? $50. You take all the extra money because you're making sacrifices in your life because you were serious about getting out of debt. All the extra money you throw at the smallest debt. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Which is the $50 ones. So I can't make them all $1,000 because they're not all the same size. We're gonna make them the $50 $1,000, $100 $2,000. The next one $200 is $3,000, and the $300 is $4,000. We're gonna do it like that so they can be different sizes. You take the debt, the payment that you're making on the $50, and all the extra money you got, you dump on. So now you're making payments of $100, $200, $300. All the extra money you can come up with, you pay, and you knock that $1,000 out, right? So you've budgeted for 50, 200, 100, 200, 300, 400. Now all of that extra money you was able to come up with, you now have paid off that first debt. You got yourself a victory. Something's paid off. You're feeling good. Now that you've done that, you take that $50 payment and you put it on that $100 debt. Okay, so now it's $150 you putting on that. So off rip, you started more than what you was doing before, and all the extra money that you was able to come up with from the one when you was on the $100, you put that on there too. Now, some people can come up with extra, some people can't. I say, before you even say, I can't come up with extra, I say you take some time to think of ways you can either make a little bit more money on the side doing something else, or sacrifices you can make in your finances to come up with extra money. Okay? So now you got that $150 plus whatever extra you can come up with. So now your snowball is starting to begin. It's starting to gain a little extra snow. Okay? So once you knock out that $2,000 debt because you paying it off faster, you take that $150 and add it to the $200 payment. Now you're paying $350 plus all of the extra money that you was coming up with to pay them other two debts. And you got yourself another victory, and you feeling good about yourself, and you can keep it moving. Okay? That's one of the reasons why, and the victories are important because that's one of the reasons why you don't try to knock the biggest thing out or the highest interest rate out, because you get discouraged when you feel like you're not making no moves. You don't see no wins coming.
Exactly.
Okay?
No results.
Yes. So now that you knocked out the next debt, the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,000 with the $200 payment, you're gonna go now to the next payment, which was $300 a month. Okay? And you was already paying all these payments all along. Okay? But you're now going to pay the $300 you was paying, plus the $200 you was paying, plus the $150 that you was paying from the beginning. So that's $650 going towards that last debt. Snowball's big. It'll gain steam from all the other debts, plus all the extra money you've been coming up with from all along from the beginning when you was paying the $50. So by the time you get to the last debt, you hitting it with so much money that you just chewing this debt down to nothing rapidly, because you snowballed your way to that big one. And a lot of folks, they get stuck on baby step number 2 because they have a lot of debt, like you mentioned, student loans. But if you do it from smallest to biggest and all the extra payments that you was making, and you keep rolling it over to the next debt, rolling over to the next debt, when you get to that last debt, you're gonna see all this chunk of money you spend on debts. See, a lot of people, they don't add up everything they spending on debt a month and see, man, I'm spending this much money on debt. Well, you can be surprised how fast you can knock out a big chunk of debt with a large payment. See, but what we like to do, we like to hit those minimum payments. Credit cards are beasts by even showing you a minimum payment, okay? And we like to hit the minimum payments and wonder why the debt ain't going nowhere. The whole purpose of doing the snowball is to bite into the debt. Interest can't hurt you if interest ain't got nothing to compound on. Okay.
Yep. We definitely covered that one. Baby step number 2.
All right. Now, after you out of debt, you got some breathing room. Okay? That take you to baby step number 3. Now, just imagine. Because people say, well, it was hard enough getting $1,000 for baby step number 1. Well, baby step number 3 is 3 to 6 months of expenses in the savings. Now, we talking about a real emergency fund. Okay? Not just some old rinky-dink $1,000. A lot of people think, well, I can't use $1,000 as an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in your savings account, meaning you done your budget, you know how much it costs you to live, you know how much your expenses are with each and every bill you got, because you're spending your money on purpose now. Okay?
Yeah.
So once you've added that up, because nobody know how long their job is going to be their job, because it's not their job, it's the company's job. Okay? So you, or somebody might get hurt, or whatever the issue is, we don't know what the future holds. So we got to save for that rainy day. This is your real emergency fund. This is you and your family's emergency fund. This is not you and cousin Riri. This is not you and whoever emergency fund. Their emergency is not your emergency. Okay?
What's your emergency fund look like, B?
I don't know if I want to put that out there on the airwaves. Just know it exists and it's real.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about the cost of living. Like how much it takes for you a month to survive.
Well, see, here's the thing. we live well below our means as far as our monthly expenses. And expenses aren't debt. Expenses is what it costs you to live because you done paid the debt off. So, and just for those who are homeowners in this, mortgages aren't included in this. We're talking credit card debts, other debts that you've taken over the years. Okay, car loans, things of that nature. So 3 to 6 months of expenses. For us, we can have, I think, anywhere between about $2,000 a month on expenses, but that's just me ballparking it without looking at the numbers. About $2,000 a month.
Damn, B, I thought you were gonna say about $8,000.
No, man, we are meager livers. Okay, we gotta understand the cars are paid off, the mortgage is low. Okay, the light bill ain't that much, and you know, being that we are in the position that we in, we have.
Mine is about 2, to be honest.
Yeah, so if something want to go down, we good. You know.
Yeah.
And but 3 to 6 months, you got to be able to keep your house where you live at. You got to live somewhere. Okay, that got to be in there. And the 3 to 6 months is a good amount. So okay, so I say about $2,000. So that's $12,000 put away. Now, mind you, it may seem like a lot of money, but you ain't got no debt. Okay, pay off all debt using Debt Snowball. That's baby step number 2. So you don't have any debt, and all that Debt Snowball, that big old snowball you had at the end, that's what you're using to build your expenses. Cause we still living meager from when we was paying debt off. So once you got that 3 to 6, and you understand the definition of emergency because you learned that in baby step 1, you good. You can breathe. You know, now you can start looking for happiness at work because you ain't got to be there. I ain't got no debt. So you're not going to talk to me like this. Either you're going to appreciate my presence or I'm out. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Attitude will totally change when you got money in the bank.
Yeah, when you debt free and you have your emergency fund fully funded. This is considered a fully funded emergency fund. That $1,000 was a starter emergency fund so you can start knocking off this debt. And that's simply baby step number 3. Really not much more that need to be. Just get your emergency fund fully funded. Now, baby step number 4 is where people mess up a lot because one, they don't think it's possible because they underneath the challenges of baby step 1, 2, and 3, and they can't see past 1, 2, and 3. So baby step number 4, invest 15% of household income into Roth IRAs and pre-tax retirement. Too many of our families have no retirement investment or only depend on Social Security or only depend on 401k. And we all heard the adage, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If 2008 was any lesson to anybody, when all them 401ks took all them hits, because all the 401k is a prettied up mutual fund investment. Okay, when all them 401ks took those hits, people saw their money drop. Okay, and Social Security ain't really paying out nothing. Okay, nobody should be dependent on Social Security for retirement. If you believe that Social Security is a retirement fund that you should depend on, then you need to reevaluate your whole belief system when it comes to finances. Yes, you paid into it so you could collect it. Yeah, but that should just be gravy on the cake that you made for yourself because you done paid off all your debt. Okay. Now IRAs.
I think.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I figure after baby step number 2, I'm pretty sure people mindset at that time is at a point now where the rest of these steps gotta be easy, because if you the biggest thing, like I said, is step number 2, which is debt. Everybody has a lot of debt, and once you knock out that debt, you should already have that mindset that anything else, like saving 3 to 6 months of expenses and taking 15% of your income and putting it in the Roth IRAs and pre-tax retirement, that should be a breeze for you after you knock out baby step number 2.
But here's the challenge for people. These instruments, Roth, what is a Roth? We have a hard time spending money on things like this when we don't truly see the benefit of it. Okay, why pre-tax? You know, folks, see, here's what get a lot of folks. They what they will do is they'll say, okay, I'm good, I'm in a position where I can start investing, and then they just start investing. And then they don't understand that you just can't invest. You have to understand how what you're buying works. We don't do that. We buy a lot of stuff and we don't understand how it works, and we can't explain to our children how it works. No. You need to understand what the Roth IRA is. You need to understand that there's a limit to how much you can put in it annually. And if you're married, how that number goes up. You need to understand why Roth is in front of it. What's the difference between a Roth IRA and a non-Roth IRA? You need to understand what is a pre-tax retirement, okay, and why you want pre-tax instead of post-tax, okay? All of these things, the things you need to understand. I would imagine.
Pre-tax is better. Why? Because they tax it. Because if it's post-tax, is when you take it out, they're gonna be taxing it when you take it out.
If you buy the wrong instrument, you're gonna pay tax on it twice. Yeah. But Roth gets special tax treatment because when you retire, it's tax free. If I'm not mistaken, IRAs are the same way. Now, if I'm wrong and rules have changed, you know, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. But the right instrument gets preferable tax treatment if you wait till the proper time when you retire. Here's what I know: the clock never stops. Okay, if you don't die prematurely, 65 will see you one day. Okay? How you gonna be looking at when you're 65? Oh, I should have got me a Roth instead of, turning up every weekend. Okay? Yeah, I know it costs less money for ladies to turn up. But what's the opportunity cost of you turning up when you could be doing something else? And that's another term that you need to look up. What is opportunity cost? Okay? That's the cost of the missed opportunity of when you could be doing something else more productive with your time and or money. Okay. And
step 5?
Step 5 is college funding for children. Now understand, these are steps of order, meaning you do 1 first, you do 2, you do 3, you do 4, you do 5. Notice how funding your own retirement comes before funding your children's college. This is important. This is important. This is important. Funding your own retirement comes before funding your children's college. Once you reach that point where your annual income, 15% of it, is being funded, and you have retirement fund ready to go and steaming, doing its thing, building on compound interest, okay? Then you start talking about, well, how am I pay for my children's college?
Yeah, but some people, they want to make sure their kids get in the best college, so they want to, put money towards that first.
Well, those people are stupid. Let me explain why. When you go to college, like you said earlier, you're putting down on potential. You're putting down on the what if. Okay? And you might not make it. Or your kid might not be college material. And you just neglected to realize that or accept it, that your kid just ain't college material. Okay? Or he might decide he want to get some liberal arts degree that ain't got no real financial back into it to where you could get a decent job. Okay? And also you got to remember, going to college, put programs a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people into this job mentality. And that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. Okay? But the reason why it's the wrong move is because you got grants, you got scholarships, you got student loans. There are so many different ways that your children can get college paid for, or they can get a job and pay for it themselves. Who say they got to go to a major university off rip? Okay? They go to community college.
Because we don't want them to get in debt. We want to make sure the next generation learns from our mistakes and not go into college coming out in debt.
And this right here is cycle breaking stuff. Okay? Exactly. You're breaking the cycle. So when we fund their college, and there are instruments you can buy that get college at today's cost. You got to go to your state to see what I think they call it 50 something. I forget. But there are instruments you can buy to pay for college early. Okay? So where you're paying for it at today's prices. Different states treat it differently, and they got tax benefits. Okay, we're at the place where we're already spending now towards our children's college. So when that time comes, they don't have to get student loans. Okay,
exactly.
And each state do it differently. And guess what? You don't have to buy the prepaid college plan from your state. If your state prepaid college plan sucks, you can buy it from another state if it's better and have better tax treatment. And guess what? If they go to college, or if they get ready to go to college, if they say, I don't want to go to college, you can put it for your next child, the money you will save for that child. Or you don't have to use it for them. I'm not quite sure what the tax hit is, but if they don't go to school, guess what? You just saved you a whole bunch of money that you could go on that nice big vacation, on that Alaskan cruise that you've been planning to go all your life. Okay? But put it away. That's baby step number 5. College funding for your children.
That's 6.
Now 6, I hope it apply to everybody, but unfortunately some people just want to rent all their damn life. And
pay off home early.
Renting is stupid. Okay? It is stupid 95% of the time. But some people say, well, I can't, come up with a down payment or whatever the case is. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Okay? Now, pay your home off early. You got to remember, you just got to destroy your debt with that debt snowball. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That same amount of intensity that you was using with the debt snowball and all that extra money that you was using, you now put towards your mortgage. And most of your mortgage is going towards interest in the first part of you paying. Okay? The mortgage is a hustle. Okay? You paying interest more so than principal in the first half. But guess what? All the extra money, you can make straight up principal payments. Pay your regular payment and then set a payment that you designate to go towards your principal. Okay? And as you chop down that principal, no matter what your interest rate is on the house, because the interest rate is contingent on what the principal is. So if you got an unfavorable interest rate, it's okay, you knock it out the principal. So let's say you got a 7 or 8% interest rate and your principal is $100,000. Well, 7 to 8% of $100,000 versus 7 to 8% of $80,000 because you're knocking out that principal. 8% of $50,000 because you're knocking out that principal. Of $25,000, can you see what I'm saying? It's less.
Yeah.
Because the number is still the same, the rate is still the same, but it's less. If you are in a stupid mortgage like a FHA, where you only put 3.5% down and got PMI locked in for the life of the loan. Now, mind you, I might be talking about stuff that's jibber-jabbing a lot of you, but you need to know this stuff. Rewind the video and hear these terms again. PMI, private mortgage insurance, it's a trap. Okay? You got to know what escrow is. You an adult. You can pay your own insurance and taxes. That's what escrow's used for. If you don't have at least 20 grand to put down on a house, you can't afford the house. There's a percentage of your income that your payment should be. Okay? That's how a lot of people find themselves in these jacked up financial situations, because they bought more house than they could afford. Okay? So if you in a house that's strangling you and your finances, sell that house, get out that house. Downgrade.
All right. I think we need to hit 7 now. We got about 4 minutes left.
Awesome. Lastly, after you pay off your house, you got no debt. You know, funded your kids' college. You know, invested in your household income. 50% of your household income into your retirement. Okay, you got 3 to 6 months of living expenses. You living good. The only thing left to do is build your empire. And a lot of us believe in karma, whether it's you reap what you sow, or whether it's what go around, come around, or whatever. A lot of us believe in that. So if you believe in that, while you building your wealth, remember to give. Because if you give, it will come back to you. You got to be generous. A lot of wealthy people will tell you they wouldn't be in the position that they're in if they were stingy. Okay? You give. You give. Because personally, I believe it's not the state, government job to take care of us. It's our job to take care of each other.
You know what I think is funny too? A lot of people look at rich people as stingy people, but I hear giving as something to do in your finances from rich people, like people who got money. I hear them say that more than people who
broke.
Who broke. I hear them say give more than a lot than those people. So it's like they're not really a lot of them are not really stingy people. A lot of them really give.
Yeah,
and they like to give.
See, the reason they're accused of being stingy is because they don't want to cast their pearls into the swine. Okay, meaning they don't want to give their money to someone or a system that's wasteful. That's wasteful. They want to see that if they give, something is going to come out of that giving, and it's not just going to be wasted. The same reason
that's why
you
they
don't want
rather
to
give and then write it out on their taxes.
Yeah. Same reason you don't want to give a bump somebody on the side of the road, because you concerned about how he gonna spend it, whether he gonna get a beer or some cigarettes or some drugs. Okay, you want him to change his life with them little $20 you gave him. That's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah. That's how we be acting like, all you gonna do is buy some beer. Really? That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I used to do that. Then I told myself, I was like, you know what? You giving out of your heart anyway. It's like you shouldn't be worried about what he's gonna do with the money. Like if he asking you for it and you got it, give it to him. I mean, if you don't want to give it to him, don't give.
I don't think you should ever give if it ain't in your heart to do it, even if you got it. Do not give under obligation, or we feel like guilted into it. The reason why I say this is because that creates a pattern and a psychosis to where you have a hard time telling people no in your life that you need to be telling no. Okay? No is a powerful thing.
And that giving that mean nothing anyway.
Yeah. No is a powerful thing. You need to say no sometimes. They're going to hate you. If they love you, they're going to understand. Telling somebody no is the best way to find out if they love you.
All right. So, that concludes the show for today. If you enjoyed the show, please share it. Stay tuned for the show tomorrow. And like I say, we come on every day. We come on Mondays and Tuesdays at 11 p.m. And as always, anytime you want to call in, the number is 929-477-2663. And we hope you enjoyed the advice we gave today. We're not experts, but, we learned a little from the time we've been here.
That's what's up.
All right, that was it.
Yeah.
I see we had a troll today.
He came from YouTube, but I'm wondering if he came from me share it? Because he came after I posted, you know, or was he just, you know, he just happened by us?
I don't know, because I shared it on Twitter, too, and it's like right after I did that.
Yeah.
It's like, because he could have came from Twitter.
Yeah, gotta love that. Gotta love it.
Oh, man, I'm talking about, bro, whenever, if you're on YouTube, man, you just gotta learn how to live with them folks right there, because they all on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
They
yes,
all
sir.
on there.
Man, how many folks you tag? How many folks you share with?
Well, I shared it on my Facebook. I shared it on Twitter before the show, and I shared it on Twitter after the show. I never tag anybody on Facebook, actually.
Oh, okay. I tag mad folks.
Yeah, when I see you had 4 listeners the whole time.
Well, are you watching?
Yeah, I am, and you are. So it's like 2 other people there.
Well, I'm watching on my iPad, so that's 3. Bruh, I'm telling you, bruh, don't let me mess around and make it.
Yeah.
Be like Michael Jackson. Do you remember when we started
we had
the show?
On the chat on the Blog Talk, he was in that chat for a minute, just listening.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. We need to figure out a way to get Blog Talk chat on the screen, on the stream.
Yeah. Look at it doing. Look at this dude right here. I tell you, the trolls, bud, the trolls.
Did he go into the Blog Talk chat talking trash? Because I blocked him from my YouTube.
Nah, he didn't come in the Blog Talk trash. So he was on. I saw you deleted like 3 messages.
Yeah, because you were like, that was me. I was laughing the whole time. And so, fuck off. That's what he said. And it made it to the thing. So, take this as a lesson learned. You need to know how to, we need to screen calls. We need to get us a call screener.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And get that dump button. Get that dump. Dumping it. They ain't gonna make it on there.
Where is that? There you go. It says screen right there. Sure is. Damn. I'm gonna use that next time to see how that shit works. May have somebody who we know just call in so we can try it out.
Yep.
Hey, I don't even hear you no more.
Oh, I had muted my mic because I didn't want the sound of me blowing my nose to show up on the thing. Yo, it's crazy. As I was talking, I was getting more and more congested. And I'm like, I'm going to get this out.
Hey, look, when you was on Baby Step 2, I was like, ooh, okay, we're on this one right here.
Yeah. But Baby Step 2 is serious, though.
Yeah, Baby Step 2 is the most important one, but I was like, damn, are we going to get to 7?
Yeah.
I heard your phone went off when I sent you that text. I was like,
oh, you sent me a text? I ain't even look. 5 minutes. Yeah, I need to stun that clock. I need to put a time on the screen.
Yeah, I probably need to just shoot you the time, and then you can go ahead and just put the timer in your phone. That way you can just kind of look down at your phone.
Yeah, but I see. When I do this, when we do this, it's like we just going. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like tonight. I think if you want, aside from that dude, tonight was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this too. I mean, how we started off talking about our experience.
Oh,
and
how about at 11:17, I realized that my mic was muted.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Cause when we start the show, we talking before we do the show. I'll mute the mic, and it wasn't muted. Okay, there's 2 mutes I got. I got the mute from the broadcast, and I got the actual button on my mic. So what I'll do is, so I can talk to you, and it don't get up on the stream, I'll mute from the broadcast. And when the show starts, because we had that little issue at the beginning of the show where I couldn't hear nothing, I was like, let me get it started. And then I got in there, welcome to Blog Talk Radio, blah blah blah. And then I never checked to unmute the mic. And so I look down, I'm like, ain't that a B? So I was like, I unmuted it. So I typed it in the chat, so stupid. What's going on, Wolf? So stupid. I'm so stupid. My mic been off this whole time. Oh, man.
What's going on, Wolf?
Well, if you've been here, you just now getting here, Wolf.
Man, you need to have a checklist in front of you.
Who
man.
you telling, bruh? Because there's so many little things I got to do. I got to transfer the stream information, the stream key, so I'm not streaming on the other channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to, there's so much.
Hey, share it, Wolf. Share the stream.
But yeah, we talked about finances today, Wolf. You missed some good information, Wolf, to change your life before your life even gets started.
Man, hey, that Plant versus Zombies, man. Can you play like 2 people?
I wish.
Man, hey, that's what we need to find. We need to find some games like, say for instance, I'm we both on Android. Let's stream some Android games on now.
Well, the only other game that I got that's multiplayer is MOBA Legends, MOBA Legends, and that's like League of Legends but for Android.
Yeah. That's all they got.
Also, I'm pretty sure there's more. League of Legends has spawned a lot of copycats. But I'm pretty sure there's more multiplayer games. With Mobile Legends, you can party up.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't talking. Yeah, and that's like the best type of game to play on your phone anyway. I mean, I got a tablet too.
Yeah. I like the reason I got this iPad Mini was for that game and games like it that I could play on my iPad, because my phone is just, it's not big enough, and the software I use to capture my iPad works better with Apple than it does with Android.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah,
man. I gotta go here. I gotta get up in the morning and go up here to this thing in the morning.
All right. What we talking about tomorrow night? What you got any ideas?
Dang, you know what? I did have one while we were talking. What the shit was? Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at the baby steps, because I think it was pertaining to the baby steps.
Okay.
Let me see.
And I'm gonna put a link from the website I was reading from in the description of this video.
There we go. Home ownership. Because you had said something about if you don't own a home, it's stupid. And I saw this video with this couple where they did something, man. They not homeowners, they was still renting, and it was like they was talking about how much money that they had from what they was doing. I forgot exactly. It was all over Facebook. It's all over Facebook, yeah. So that should be something like, should you be a homeowner? Is it, should you be a homeowner? and the reasons why, and pros and cons, basically. Pros and cons of being a homeowner.
Yeah. We should talk about homeownership and like mortgages and down payments and yeah.
Hey, I know a chick, man. She is a realtor too. I wonder what I'm gonna ask her. Matter of fact, we may hold off on that show, like hold it for next week.
See if we can get her in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could get her in, and make sure she had an understanding. This ain't totally about promoting you either. We try to do something for people.
Yeah, exactly. Because her being a realtor, she'll know basically probably the ins and outs to people that don't have, like you say, Dave Ramsey said, put 20% down, but those realtors, they'll say you don't have to put no money down.
Yeah, F that. If you can't afford to come up with 20% to put down in your house, then you can't afford to be in one. Simple. Okay?
Yeah. Because that's what another thing Dave was saying is like a lot of people neglect the fact that when you own a home, that means if the roof cave in, you got to take care of that. If the plumbing messes up, you got to take care of that. Like just because you probably got in with no money down and it may have been less for you to pay for this house versus getting rent.
But it's not.
That it's not, because it's not with all the other stuff that's added in.
Well, not even that. The numbers of the actual purchase don't add up. For example, you know how they try to get you. It's easier to get a brand new car at a dealership with no money down than it is to go to a used car lot and get a decent payment with money down. Because
the banks don't want to finance that low.
That ain't it.
That low amount.
That ain't it. Well, it's partially it, but when you do the math, the amount of money, because it's not going to be, you might have a low interest rate, but the amount of money that you financing on that brand new car with no money down, you're going to be paying more of the principal in interest versus putting 20% down. If I put 30 grand down and I put 20, if I buy a car for 30 grand and I put 20% down, okay, 10% is 3 grand, 20% is 6 grand. So I put $6,000 down. I'm only financing $24,000. Okay, so they're only making money off the interest of the $24,000. But if I zero down, guess what? I'm financing a whole 30 grand. So they making money. They making interest off the whole 30 grand. So they want you in a bigger. That's why you want to put down as much as you can, so you only pay interest on a smaller amount.
Yeah.
But these folks don't even understand interest and how interest is used as a weapon against them.
Yeah, Dave ain't with that interest on cars.
No, buy it outright. If you got a car note, sell it. That's how he believe. But some of us, we get car notes every income tax.
Yeah, that boy Dave, well, he like, man, he don't care if it's a bucket, you're gonna have to drive that bucket until you can afford to get one better.
A lot of folks don't agree with Dave because he don't believe in debt, credit cards, none of that. You got Susie Orman and Clark Howard. They believe in there's good debt and bad debt. Well, Dave come from, and most of the people I know come from a Christian background. Okay?
Oh, yeah. He started talking about the Bible, and the Bible don't say nothing good about that.
Yes. And the Bible also say things like the borrower is slave to the lender. Right? So if the borrower is slave to the lender, and that's a relationship dynamic that's been created, why are you now changing the relationship between you and your mother, father, sister, brother by loaning them money.
Oh man, hey, you know what? That's it right there. Should you loan family money?
That's a quick show. The answer is no.
Hey, man, look, I'm telling you, hey, I'm done. I'm done with that, B. I learned my lesson, man. I tried to be so nice last year, man, and this year, bro, it's like, man, it's like folks want to turn it into a problem.
Oh, yeah. Look, this ain't always the case. But more often than not, if people need to borrow money, that means they have bad financial habits. Okay? So that means they're not going to ever be in a position to pay you back. And then it's going to, because we done changed the dynamic of the relationship, because we no longer family no more, we now slave master, we going to start acting differently towards each other.
Man. Yeah, man, I find out. Yeah, I'm like, it's not gonna work, man.
I got family owe me money to this day, and I knew better because I knew about Dave Ramsey when I did this. And you know what? Charge it to the game. Let it go. That's what I've done. Charge it, if you got money out there, charge it to the game and be family again. Okay, that's more important. Charge it to the game, be family again. Just know that it's a wrap. Okay, and you ain't got to be a douche about it. Just like, I changed. I got new rules for my life now. I don't loan money out. Now, if you need $100 and I ain't got $100 to loan you, but I got 20 I can give you to help you towards your problem, and I gave it to you, it's a gift. It's over. It's dead on arrival. Yeah. And you don't owe me nothing. Yeah. It's not like when I'm going through something. You remember that time I gave you 20? Nah. I gave you $20 because I was in a position to give, and here it is. I love you. Now, good luck with your situation.
How I do it is like this. If I give you money and you don't pay me back, I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I'm upset about it, but I move on, and I do just like this. That moment you come back, you're gonna get that reminder. Because when I say no, I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm saying no. No, I can't do it because you still haven't paid me back from such and such time. So, I don't feel comfortable with loaning you money because you don't know how to pay nobody back. So it's simple as that. It makes it easier for me to tell you no next time. Uh-huh. It's no problem. No problem to say no next time. Well, okay. As soon as you ask again, I'm going to say no with no hesitation.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. That is a quick show.
No, we can trust me. I can expound on anything. We should have this show because it's important. This conversation needs to be had. I think that would be perfect for tomorrow. Family, relationships, and money. That makes it a little bit more broad where we can discuss other things.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll definitely do that one then tomorrow. So, B.A.M. Talk Spot. Whoever listening, y'all heard it here. Tomorrow the show is going to be about family and money.
I threw relationships in there because we're not related to everybody that we have money problems with.
Yeah.
We got some friends that that we need to deal with. So
yeah, we do.
And what happened? One of the challenges, just a little preview for tomorrow night. One of the challenges is, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, which the mic was muted on. We is so busy paying attention to other people's financial situation that we not paying attention to ours. So when people come to you asking, they come from the position that they think you live in this kind of way. They think your money look like this. Okay? They see what they see what they think coming in, but they don't understand that they don't have a clue what our money situation is like. But they already have a preconceived notion.
But look though, that's the main reason why they even asking. Because look, they may have got hints from, damn, Brian just bought a goddamn $1,000 drone, or he just got a brand new car. Yeah. They already assuming, oh man, Brian must got some money or something. Let me go see if he'll let me borrow something.
A lot of people is flossing. Okay, if you see us get something brand new, no, we just bought it. We not leasing. We not got no car note. We not in debt to our eyeballs to live a life to make people think one thing. Okay.
And I know you didn't pay retail though, Mango. I know you didn't pay retail.
Probably not. It depends. Some things, you know, they just came out with this new i9 processor, and you know,
you saw it.
Yeah.
Did you see the Damn, it's another one that they about to get ready to drop. It's like I think they call it Super Thread.
So
what is that? It was at CES.
Yeah. So I'm saving up my lunch money and all the little change around the house, because it's about time for me to build me another beast. Okay, and I want some DDR4. Okay, I'm putting some liquid cooling. This one here is gonna be the truth. Terabyte RAM, solid state. I'm going all in on this next one. So it's probably gonna take me 2 years for me to save up for it. I'm spending $3,000 on my next computer. $2,000 to $3,000 on my next computer. Now, for me to do that, I got to have like all the other areas of my life straightened out.
That i9 processor, good gracious.
They're gonna have DDR5 standard in your motherboard by the time I'm ready to build my next system. Right now, it's just on the graphics card.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
And this goes back to the conversation we're having today. I still got my first laptop when i7 dropped. Okay, yeah, I get toys. You know, I'm not broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke, but I'm not in a broke environment. Let me just say that. So, you know, it is easy for folks to see my life is better than what it is.
I think broke is relative, though.
Yeah, broke is relative. Yes, it is. So don't pay attention to what you think I got. You think I'm living, because you know Dave. He wants you to spend your money on purpose, not to try to keep up with the Joneses or keep up with the Mangos. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that, because some of y'all ain't in a position to do that, and then you're gonna be mad when you never catch us, and your life don't went by.
Yeah, I always believe your biggest competition is yourself. Like, you know, if you just can keep competing with yourself to do better
in 2017 than you did in 2016. That's the only people you need to be competing with yourself, competing against. Okay, and be happy for those around you that seem to be doing good, because it can all change at the drop of a hat. It can all change. None of this stuff, unless you're financially free and independent, unless you truly have financial peace, it can all change. As long as folks got to clock in on the job, just because they living a little bit better than you, that don't mean nothing. Because that job can be gone just like that.
Yeah, only the Rockefellers can. They definitely know what financial peace is.
Yep.
So, but man, see you tomorrow, man. Get this show going tomorrow at 11 p.m.
All right, that's what's up. And I'm gonna make me a little checklist.
All right, man.
All right, you be easy. Good night, everybody that's watching. Peace.
Yep.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Stop.